Thanks for coming to J&N Travels podcast with your hosts, John and Nancy.
Hi.
We will discuss everything travel, including cruising, Disney World, other general travel, snowbirding tips, trivia, and other fun things.
Thanks for joining us. Each podcast contains 2 segments with travel information. We also have Nancy's Trivia, travel fun facts, and snowbird tips. We have been getting some questions emailed to us and will answer one question on each podcast. If interested in sending us a question or making up a comment, email us at j&ntravels@yahoo.com. Please check out our J&N Travels Facebook page, J&N Travels merchandise store, our J&N Travels YouTube channel, and visit our podcasts on YouTube, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and Apple. Our information for everything is listed below. We like to start off each podcast with Nancy's Trivia. Nancy, that's me, will give you the trivia questions now, and she will give you the answers towards the end of our podcast.
Well, Nancy, we like to start off our show with getting your brain kind of working. And since Christmas is only a week away, we thought we would have a Christmas-themed trivia. So
Yes.
you'd like to ask about
I do.
3 to 5 trivia questions each week, and you've got 3 for us related to Christmas. So
Yes.
what are they?
Okay.
And just so people know, the answers will be given at the end of the
Yes.
show.
So number 1, how many ghosts are there in A Christmas Carol?
How many ghosts are there in A Christmas Carol? Of course,
Yeah.
that's a Dickens story, A Christmas Carol,
Yeah.
which I know the answer, but a lot of people get this wrong.
All right, well, let's see if they can get it right.
And what's number 2?
Number 2 is, what is the most recorded Christmas song of all time?
Was the most recorded Christmas song of all time.
Yeah.
I could have some guesses, but I'm not really sure on this one.
This one is interesting. Which U.S. state was the first to declare Christmas an official holiday?
Which U.S. state was the first to declare Christmas an official holiday? I have no clue with this. I'll make some guesses when we do the answers at the end, but
Yeah.
the answers to these will be at the end of our show.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
On today's J&N Travel, John and Nancy will talk about weird holiday traditions celebrated around the world. Happy holidays to everyone. Take it away, John and Nancy.
Italy. The highlight in Italy is not Santa Claus, but an ugly and kind old witch known as Befana, the giver of gifts, who is the one who controls the giving of gifts. On January 5th, parents will leave out a plate of broccoli with spiced sausage and a glass of wine for Befana. Tradition says the good witch flies around on her broom and enters the house through the chimney to deliver clothing, toys, and candy to all the good children.
Japan. In Japan, Christmas isn't really celebrated, but Kentucky Fried Chicken is. Eating KFC on December 25th instead of having a homemade Christmas dinner is a tradition in Japan. The Colonel's Fried Chicken is so popular that the chain asks customers to place their orders at least 2 months in advance. The popular feast began back in 1974 when it was introduced to Japan for visitors who wanted a dinner resembling a traditional holiday meal.
Spain has 2 weird traditions. The first one is El Caganer is the most important holiday figurine, even if it's a little obscene. The male figurine's name is translated to the defecator, which makes sense since the porcelain doll is squatting with his pants down. And yes, he is trying to take a number 2. Legend has it that the farmers would be punished with a poor crop harvest and bad fortune if they didn't include a Caganer within their nativity scene. Today the tradition continues with Christmas markets selling old school Caganers alongside new versions that feature famous faces such as soccer players, rock stars, and even Barack Obama.
Spain, the second weird holiday tradition, the Christmas log, is the cattleman poop log, an exceptionally unique Christmas tradition in this part of Spain. Crafted by hand, this little wooden character, made of a stick and art supplies, is treated kindly from December 8th to the 24th when children offer him nuts, fruits, and cover him in a blanket for warmth. On Christmas Eve, they beat him with sticks while singing a traditional song. Following the beating, they lift up the blanket to reveal the log has pooped a pile of candy for their enjoyment.
Ukraine, spiderweb tree. Christmas trees in Ukraine are often covered in spiderwebs. Folklore tells the story of a poor family who grew a Christmas tree from a pine cone. The children were excited about decorating their own Christmas tree, but the family was poor and they weren't able to decorate it for the holiday. When they woke on Christmas morning, they found spiders had spun webs around the tree's branches. Today, Ukrainians dress up their trees with spider webs to welcome in good luck in the coming year.
Wales, caroling with dead horses. There isn't a particular day for this weird tradition, but it's usually from the time of Christmas to late January. One person will dress as a horse with an actual horse skull and is usually accompanied by a group of people. The group will go to homes singing carols in exchange for food and drinks.
Austria. Krampus. Bad children in the U.S. get cold, but other bad children around the world get a visit from Krampus. The half-goat, half-beast creature shows up in order to punish the ill-behaved. If he discovers a particularly bad child, he bundles him into a snack and carts him away, presumably for a midnight snack.
Mexico, Night of the Radishes. In Oaxaca, Mexico, you can't celebrate the holidays without radishes. Every year on December 23rd, the Mexican state of Oaxaca presents the most impressive display of carved vegetables in the world. The radishes are grown especially for this event and remain on display throughout Christmas Day. The miniature exhibits show the nativity scene and other events from Mexican folklore.
Iceland. The Yule Cat. This is one scary kitty. The Yule Cat is a huge and vicious cat from Icelandic folklore that lurks during Christmas time and eats people who have not received any new clothes to wear before Christmas Eve. It began as a threat used by farmers as an incentive for their workers to finish processing the autumn wool before Christmas. The ones who took part in the work would be rewarded with new clothes, but those who did not would get nothing and thus would be eaten by the monstrous cat.
Venezuela. Venezuelans in Caracas strap on their rollerblades on Christmas morning each year and take to the streets to skate to Mass, as 70% of the population is Catholic. The government actually closes the streets until 8 a.m. on Christmas Day in order to make sure it's safe for families to enjoy the holiday tradition together and get to Mass without too much difficulty.
Ethiopia. Ethiopians celebrate Christmas on July 7th and they attend an Ethiopian Orthodox church service with their families. They fast the day before and will dress all in white for this occasion, moving in a procession around the church as part of the ceremony. Boys and men play a game by the name of Ghana on this day as well, which is similar to street hockey.
Netherlands. Santa Claus, comes on the eve of December 5th in time for St. Nicholas's Day on December 6th. Said to live in Spain, Santa Claus arrives at a Dutch port and delivers gifts to children, leaving them inside a shoe that has been left by the fireplace or windowsill. His helpers are rumored to collect bad children in their sacks and take them back to Spain.
Norway. In Norway, a unique Christmas tradition is that on Christmas Eve, all broomsticks are hidden out of sight. It's thought by Norwegians that on the night before Christmas, bad witches and spirits will come out, and if there are broomsticks to be found, they will take them and fly on them throughout the skies.
Denmark. In Denmark, watch for Nissa. This creature of Nordic folk tales is a gnome who wants to be fed. Families in Denmark must leave him sweet rice porridge on Christmas Eve. If they do, he will be good and bring them good fortune in the coming year. If they do not, it's believed he will play tricks in the household and make life more difficult. No one ever sees Nissa.
The Philippines. Each year on a Saturday before Christmas Eve, there is a giant lantern festival in the city of San Fernando. The villagers compete to build the most beautiful and elaborate paper lanterns. They can measure up to 20 feet in diameter and are arranged in intricate patterns with vivid colors.
Czech Republic. On Christmas Day in the Czech Republic, unmarried women throw a shoe over their shoulders towards the front door. If the shoe lands with its toe towards the door, she will get married in the following year. However, if the heel points towards the door, she'll remain single.
Estonia. The family sauna bath is an Estonian tradition. Instead of gathering around the Christmas tree in the living room to open presents, families in Estonia get naked together and head for the family sauna where they engage in a cleansing sweat together. This is said to help purify bad blood and remove evil spirits from the family home. These Christmas saunas are often the extended family too, made up of grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins.
Germany. Hide the pickle tradition. Each Christmas, parents across the country hide a pickle in their Christmas tree for the children to find. The first kid who discovers the pickle gets an extra gift.
Usually during the show, Nancy takes a segment and she does fun facts
Yeah.
over something that's usually very interesting fun facts over some subject. But she showed me a list that she found recently, and I just couldn't stop laughing. I thought it was great, and it was around Christmas time, so it fits since Christmas is next week. So this is Nancy's version of fun facts for this month.
Well, these are things we do during the holidays that are kind of weird if you think about it.
And when she tells you them, just think about how
Yeah,
weird these
think
things
about
really
what they
are.
Okay. So, number 1, we wait in line to put children on a math stranger's lap.
Stay away from stranger danger in here. Go to the fat guy, sit in his lap.
Number 2, we eat candy from stockings.
True.
We tell kids, number 3, we tell kids an old man is going to invade the house one night.
And don't let it bother you, kid.
Well, he's dropping off presents.
And they look forward to it too. Yeah.
Because he's dropping off presents. Okay, number 4, prop up a dead tree in your living room.
I've always thought that one was weird. We go out, we hack a tree down, and then we put it in there, and the needles fall off for the next month. And
Yep. Number 5, sing "You Know Dasher and Dancer and Prancin' and Vixen" when you don't.
no, true. It's very true.
Number 6, justify kissing someone because of a plant on the ceiling.
Yeah, I wonder if mold counts for something like that either.
Number 7, sing about a grandmother getting stampeded by a carapace. Oh, that's funny.
I always thought that was funny.
I know it. Number 8, tell kids you bought them a toy elf that spies on them 24/7.
The old elf on the shelf, huh?
Elf on a shelf, yeah. Number 9, think a carrot looks like a nose.
Valid point, valid argument.
Number 10, slave over ice sculptures that are just going to melt.
I've always thought that was amazing. Even on cruise ships and
I
everything else, they
know.
put all that work in, and that thing stays for about an
Yeah.
hour if you're lucky.
Yeah. Number 11, hide a pickle in a tree.
That one goes unsaid.
Number 12, say the word merry a lot. That's
we do
true.
overuse that, don't we?
Yeah. Number 13, sing to strangers whether they like it or not.
I know you always see them happily cheering them on as they sing at their front door. You wonder how many of them actually throw a snowball or throw a bucket of water at them, right?
Number 14, threaten people with lumps of coal. That goes back way back.
It's way back, and nowadays that lump of coal is probably worth something.
I know. And number 15, eat snow, but don't eat yellow snow.
But even regular snow, whoever came up with the fact of picking up snow,
I
and then
know.
eating it, that was a good thing.
Yeah.
Those are great facts. They were very
Yeah.
humorous, and thank you for sharing those to
Oh,
us.
you're welcome.
Very holiday
Yes.
festival.
Snowbird tip. When booking any lodging, you may want to book a condo with a washer and dryer. Many times you can get a condo with a washer dryer for the same price as one without, and they can be very handy. This enables us to pack only 1 week of clothes for our whole winter stay. It also is very handy to wash linens and dry towels. Segment number 2 on our podcast is an edited version of a topic from one of our earlier lives.
So why don't we move right on to our discussion? Okay, now we've been doing a series of Disney updates the last 10 to 15 years. We started with Magic Kingdom, which is the first park built. We went to Epcot, we went to Studios, and today is our final one, which is the Animal Kingdom.
Great park. I'm glad they made Animal Kingdom.
Okay, Disney Animal Kingdom is the newest park, and it celebrates 25 years in April.
Yeah.
Okay, so it opened in 1998.
Yep.
It's
We went
also,
the first year they opened. We went in 98.
We
First year
did.
they opened.
and it was built originally as a half-day park, and they've since made it so you could spend the whole day there. It's because it seems small, right? Because most of it is wide open land for the animals. It is the biggest park of the 4,
Yeah.
but it seems like the smallest, doesn't it? Because of the actual area you walk around.
Yeah.
A couple little fun facts about it. It's home to approximately 2,000 animals representing 200 species. Let's see. How many animals have been... I'm going to throw this question out. We'll answer it at the end. But how
Okay.
many of the animals at Disney Animal Kingdom right now have been there since the opening day and still live in the park?
That's a good question.
And I will answer that at the very end. Yeah, it's funny, Billy. He says it's his least favorite park. You hear that from a lot of
Yeah,
people.
you do. Yeah.
Because they go in, it's kind of a half zoo to them,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have as many attractions.
Right.
It used to be my least favorite too, but they added the Avatar Land. They've done
It
some other
became our
changes.
daughter's favorite because of Avatar Land. To quote my daughter, this is my new favorite park. She loved that Avatar ride. Was it Flight of Passage? Is that what it was called? She loved it.
Yeah.
Both
right.
our children loved it.
All right, so let's go through the process with the Animal Kingdom. 1997, 2-year-old giraffe was the first animal in the park.
Oh, I like
I
giraffes.
should have had you guess which animal it was.
Oh, I wouldn't have guessed that. I do like giraffes though a lot.
Then 2006, your favorite attraction opened up. You know what that is?
In Animal Kingdom, my
Yeah.
favorite attraction opened up. The Kilimanjaro Safari.
No, nope, the Everest.
I didn't like it at first because I didn't go on it. But once I went on it, yeah, it became one of my favorites. I was a little nervous to go on the roller coaster because it went backwards. But
It goes
yeah,
back. That scares some people, but
it was
I actually
fun.
think it's less scary going backwards than it is
Yeah,
forward.
it was fun.
Maybe because you don't see the stuff, right? Captain says, does Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto count as animals? You've been there since the beginning of the park.
Very
If so,
good.
my answer is 5. No, because there's an inner human in them, so I don't think we can count them.
Ooh, don't give the
It
secret
has to be
away.
it has to be a whole animal. I'm not even sure what the answer was. I remember when I did this, and I can't remember what the answer was. Okay, so next one, 2010. 8 white rhinos were born in the animal kingdom. This is a park open.
White rhino.
I tried to do some research to see how many animals were there, figuring
Yeah.
it's not a huge list. It is a huge
Wow.
list. It's an unbelievable amount of baby animals have been born at the park. 2011, Disney announced a major expansion to the park, and this is one you were referring to, Pandora, the World of Avatar.
Okay, yeah. Children love that.
Now that had the boat ride that we liked. We got on that one.
Yeah, that was
nice,
cool.
smooth boat
Yeah,
ride.
I like that.
Reminds me of the boat ride inside Mexico. Remember?
It did. Yeah.
Nice scenic ride.
Yeah,
relaxing.
nice scenic.
Hey, welcome in, Tommy. His
Hi,
favorite
Tommy.
is the safari.
Oh yeah, I love that too. My dad loved that. That was really
Well, you
cool
can't
that he
beat
got
it.
to see that.
I mean, the animals. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't realize, but they have this rock up on the mountain, heated. So the lions would sit on it, and that way they'd be able to be viewed from the safari.
Cool.
Because if not, they would go behind the rock. So I thought that's an interesting fact when I had heard that.
Very interesting.
So Pandora had the boat ride, like we said. Yeah. It had that other ride that we weren't willing to wait. Our kids did.
They waited. Thank you.
And
they waited like 80 minutes or something like that.
Right. Well, was it closer to 2 hours? No.
Yeah, maybe.
But they thought it was the best ride in Disney, so I'm hoping we can somehow get back on that.
I hope so. They absolutely loved it.
And 2011 was also considered, Captain, when Disney turned. Well, they considered Animal Kingdom a full day park at that point. 2014, construction began on the expansion. Okay, so this is another expansion coming there.
And I do like the shows in Animal Kingdom. They had the Lion King show and they had the Pocahontas show. So the shows were good too. The Lion King show was fabulous.
Lion King show was great.
But they cut back a little bit last time we went. It wasn't as long and they didn't have the flying monkeys.
Flying monkeys were taken out when we started because of COVID stuff.
Right.
And then they're back now.
They're back.
Flying monkeys are back.
So those are cool.
Yeah, I like those.
I love those. They do. It's fantastic.
And they're human. Billy said flight. So you got on that, Billy? Flight
Passage
of Passage is my favorite ride.
Oh, wow.
It used to be Expedition Everest. So he's saying the same thing you did.
Yeah.
I'm dying to try that.
Me too. I just couldn't wait that long in line. Just, I think 70 minutes was the longest I waited in line. And that was challenging for me. I was getting a little claustrophobic. That was with Space Mountain, and finally we got on the ride.
It's like soaring on steroids. Okay, that's a good description of it. Though.
Okay,
I can almost picture that.
That's a very good description. Yeah, I was scared to go on soaring because my fear of heights, but I overcame it to go on the ride. It was awesome. It was worth it.
Okay, so in 2014, the construction is all going crazy now. Camp Mini Mickey was closed for the Beastly Kingdom, which was never built. Now, Camp Mini Mickey, if you remember, that was where you took the path down. They had several different spots with the characters. And you dispose of them.
They were dressed in safari outfits.
Yes.
Yeah, it was cool.
And that was temporary.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be, originally Disney was supposed to, I have it down here somewhere, but it was supposed to be a Beastly Kingdom. Beastly Kingdom was supposed to have fantasy type of beasts like the unicorn.
Oh, really?
And dragons and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
They never built it.
They never built it.
But if you ever look at the original sign, I don't know if it's still on it or not, they have some of the fantasy type of animals that was supposed to be on that.
Okay.
And they may have replaced, I'll have to look again. Does anyone notice that that's on there? 2014, this is just an interesting tidbit. Walking through the animal kingdom, a little boy, a snake fell from a tree.
What?
Yeah, and landed on the little boy. It wasn't a poisonous snake, but he was with his grandmother, and his grandmother got so scared by the snake falling on it, she had a heart attack and passed away.
No, this is true
Yeah,
story.
it's true story.
That's
2014.
terrible.
2016, we move on to that, to something a little happier. 2016, they started staying open at night. Now, if you remember, they were closed before dark because the animals,
Oops.
they figured the animals were getting traumatized if it
Yeah.
went late. They needed the time to sleep and all that.
Right.
And they also did all sorts of surveys and to make sure that fireworks off at the distant parks was not upsetting the
Yeah.
animals, which somehow they proved it wasn't. So they were able to continue the fireworks at the other parks. Imagine if they didn't.
Mm.
Hey, 2016. Okay, no, we did that. They stayed open like 2017. Pandora, the World of Avatar opened. Two marquee attractions, which we mentioned, were the Flight of Passage and the Navi River Journey.
Yeah, that's what we saw.
Navi River Journey is a nice, smooth ride,
Yeah.
a lot of colors.
Yeah,
and
very
plants
pretty. I
and
remember that very well.
very
It was
relaxing.
only 2 years ago, so I would remember.
Yeah, and some special effects. And
Yeah.
then, like the captain said, the Avatar Flight of Passage was basically a 3D. You think you're on the back of those, whatever those birds are,
Banshees.
banshees. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what our daughter and son said. They absolutely couldn't say enough good things about that ride.
flying through the air.
Yep.
Back in 1999, when Yeti actually moved.
Yes.
Now he just.
Yeah.
Every year I read up on
I
that to
remember
see
the-
if they fixed it.
Yeah.
And I don't know
That is so
why.
cool.
It can't be that big a fix. Now
I
you see the
know.
shadow, but that's all you see.
Yeah, I remember when he moved. Yeah.
2019, Disney's Animal Kingdom hosted 13.888 million guests, ranking it as the third most visited theme park in North America and the sixth most visited theme park in the world. See, I didn't think it was that popular. I know it's popular, but
Yeah.
not to be on third place.
Right.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then we jump into 2000 now. We're getting to the year 2000. Dino Suit. Do you remember that? Dino Suit. It's an exact replica of the largest and most complete Tyrannosaurus Rex fossil found. It went on display in Dino Land.
Oh, Dino Sue. Yeah, I didn't know what you're talking about. Of course I remember.
They had the
that.
big tent set up.
Yeah, I
and you
remember
went in
that.
and
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I don't think that's there anymore. I think that was a temporary display.
I do remember.
Now we jump way ahead, okay, to 2020. Character flotillas on the river. This is those boats. We put a couple videos with a character on the boats and they sail around the waters inside the Animal Kingdom. You know how you look down, some were playing music. And
Oh yeah.
It's a way to see the characters
Yeah,
without meet and greets.
All right.
2020, sad time. The park closed because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So that's when it closed. Officially closed, I guess. 2022, so 2 years later, Dino Land closed and would be rethemed to Moana and Zootopia Land. Okay, now
That's cool.
Dino Land was kind of reminded me of an old carnival.
Yeah.
Carnival rides, and they have carnival games.
Yeah.
I don't know how it survived that long, to
I
tell you the
know.
truth. So that's gone, and they're going to put, which has not opened yet, a Moana themed area in the Zootopia. Zootopia is like, what's the other version of it with the animals? I can't think of it. You know how there's another cartoon that's similar to it. I can't even think of what it's called now. But I didn't realize Zootopia was a Disney product. So they're going to open the land for that.
I think that would be successful. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Moana,
Yeah.
too. In 2022, they updated the musical stage production Finding Nemo, The Big Blue, and Beyond.
Oh,
if you remember, we saw the original.
We did.
Closed it down, and they kind of made a sequel like the movie. You know, in the movie they had Finding Nemo, and then they had the one with what's the fish? Dory, yeah. And this was a sequel.
Okay.
I think we saw both of them.
We did.
Yeah. 2023, Disney Animal Kingdom celebrates 25 years of magic, and it was on Earth Day that they celebrated this. Okay, so this is this year, this April.
Okay.
Now, the question we asked at the beginning of this, if anyone knows, okay, the question we asked at the beginning, 45 animals. Oh, I guess it's not the type of animal. I guess the question was, and I just gave the answer. How many of the original animals at the park
45.
are still at the park 25 years later? I thought I actually had the animal.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's 45 animals that were brought into the park on opening day or before opening day.
Are still alive and well.
Still alive on the 45.
Doesn't
So
seem.
they're at least probably 25, 30 years old, these
Yeah.
animals now.
Yeah, I don't know what the life expectancy of, say, an elephant or a giraffe is.
Right. All right. So that is the changes that's the fourth Disney park, and that's the updates for that. Well, Nancy, we're approaching the end of the show, and it's time for you to give the answer to your trivia questions.
Yes, it is.
So what is the first question?
So the first one is, how many ghosts are there in A Christmas Carol?
And a lot of people get this wrong. A lot of people jump out with the answer 3.
That's what I thought.
And they always forget about poor little Molly. The dead ghost at the beginning.
Right.
So what is the answer?
So the answer is 4
It is
because of
4.
Marley. Okay, that's interesting. That was a trick one. Okay, what is the most recorded Christmas song of all time?
I mean, I would think White Christmas
Yeah.
or Rudolph or something like that, but I'm probably not even close. Am I? What is the most recorded
Silent
Christmas music?
Night.
Silent Night.
Yes.
I would have never guessed that.
No, I wouldn't have guessed it either.
And the third trivia
I
question?
had no idea on this one. Which U.S. state was the first to declare Christmas an official holiday?
So let's see. We're on the East Coast because
Yeah.
that's where everything seemed to happen
Yeah.
first. Is it an East Coast state?
No,
No. Okay, what's the answer?
it's Oklahoma.
Never. Ever would have guessed that one. So Oklahoma is the
No.
first state to declare
Christmas
Christmas an
an
official
official
holiday.
holiday.
Those are good questions, Nance.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And have a happy holiday, everyone.
Happy holiday, everyone. Stay young, have fun.
As we approach the end of our show, Nance, this is the part of the show that we take a question from call our mailbag, but from our email and answer it. And today's question, which is an easy question really to answer for me anyways.
Me too.
Is what was your favorite cruise ship that I've sailed on? So what's our favorite cruise ship? Is it different or do we have the same one?
Well, I'm sure you have the same one as I do. It's Royal Caribbean Oasis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Fortunately, we thought that was going to discourage us because it was so big. And
Yeah.
it turned out just to be the opposite.
Oh, I
There's so much to
absolutely
do.
loved it. It was just absolutely gorgeous. So much to do. The shows were fantastic. It was a wonderful, wonderful cruise.
That's a great ship. I would do
Yeah,
that again in a
I would too.
second. So much to do on it. So many food options.
Yeah.
Just some other ones that you really enjoyed. You enjoyed the Escape. You've always said.
I
right?
always thought the Escape was decorated very beautifully. I thought it was gorgeous, and but you know, I enjoyed all the NCL cruises that we've taken.
Yeah, Escape was great. I mean, the Gem, which is a much
Yeah.
smaller ship.
Yeah,
We've always enjoyed that
yeah.
too. So
And the Bliss, of course, is beautiful with that open area.
yeah, the big glass wall. That
Yeah.
wasn't one of my favorites because I don't like when they stick those racetracks on the top.
Yeah, that did take away from it. a bit.
You know, ship's only so big, and you take 75% of
Yeah.
it for a racetrack. That
Yeah.
if you're lucky, if you get on that racetrack once during the whole cruise.
Yeah.
So the Oasis, I guess we both agree on.
Yeah, that was our favorite. That was awesome.
You haven't sailed on the Oasis? Take a look into it. Well, thank you for the question. Anyone else that has questions that wants to ask us for a podcast, the email is j&ntravels at yahoo.com. Thank you very much, and have a great holiday season.
Yes. Happy holidays.
Thanks for coming to J&N Travels Podcast.